What's going on, folks? Rob the Oddball RV. In today's video, we're going to continue installing the FL350 disc brake conversion kit. If you're looking for this kit, it's available on our website. Here you can see all the parts that come with the kit. And so looking forward to getting into it. So with that, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Alright, so the first thing we got to do is we're going to put on our first bracket. And this bracket here is what's actually going to hold the brake caliper. And let's see if I can remember the orientation. I think it goes like this, and it gets held in with 3 bolts. So I have 3 bolts here. It's my little bag of goodies. Goes out for a moment. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3. The third one. Now there's technically 4 holes here, but because of the way that our brake caliper is designed, we can't actually take advantage of that. But this bracket is plenty strong, so long as it works just fine. The next thing that we got to do is we got to get our new wheel hub out of the bag here. And now, our disc brake is right here, so we're going to open this up. And we're not going to do it yet, but we actually have to bolt this onto the hub, just like that. So. But before we do too much else, what we actually have to do is we got to put our wheel bearings in. Now, the kit itself does not come with the wheel bearings. Technically, you could reuse the wheel bearings that come off of your stock hubs. But since I had not done any wheel bearing stuff on this machine since I got it, I thought, oh, what the heck, it's probably a good time. So I ordered new wheel bearings and everything, and we have these now on Oddball ORV, so if you need wheel bearings, wheel seals, all that sort of stuff, you can get it from us, and we'll get them sent out right to you. Nice new bearing, looks good. Got 2 of them. I'm going to set that down to the side. Now we have wheel seals as well, and there's actually 2 different types of seals for these front wheels. So if you get a kit from someone else and they just send you 2 of the same set, they didn't do you right. So this is the first seal. I think this is the outer one, if I remember correctly. And here's our inner seal. Okay. So we're going to set these kind of to the side now. I got to get the camera set up because in order to get the wheel bearings into our hub, we got to press them in. And I tried doing it with a differential by freezing the bearings and heating this up. I couldn't get this hot enough, and so I went out and just bought a brake press just to press them in. And so I know it'd be nicer to do it the differential heat way. That's what I wanted to do. But for the purpose of this, just to get it going, we're going to use the press for this. Alright, so I got this set up on my cheap Harbor Freight press here, and we're going to just press this in gently. Now, I will admit that cheap Harbor Freight presses are, you get what you pay for. Did another video on this thing already, and it's effective, but I have some serious reservations about it. So I'm just going to go real nice and slow. See if we can get this thing to press in. And it's important that as you press it, that you get the pressure equal. There we go. Okay, so you can see, get it all pressed in. Wheel bearing feels nice and good. And what you want to do is you want to look on the back side here. It's probably pretty hard to see, but you want to make sure that everything's nice and flush there, that there's nothing extra. It feels like everything went in nice and square. So that's that. I'm going to do a little bit of work off camera just to make sure it's all seated properly, and we'll come back and we'll do this other bearing on this side. All right, so now we got to press in the second bearing on the other side, and for this one we have to set up the arbor plates, and we're just going to gently press this in and see how she goes. And you can feel it hit bottom. You won't be able to, and you want to be gentle. You don't, because the bottle jack will probably put more than enough pressure to break it all. So once you feel it getting solid, you want to back it off and then take a look. And make sure everything's good to go. Everything looks like it's in nice and smooth. Looking through the inside. It looks like it's seated all the way through, so I think we're good. So the next thing we got to do is we got to put on our seals. So I'm gonna move the cameras back, get those kind of set up and inspect that, and then we'll come back. Okay, so the next thing that I got to do is I got to put my seal on, and so this is the inner seal, and it mates up with the surface on the axle there. So these, they just press in, and you just want to go nice and slow. Make sure you press them in equally until they stop. Okay. And that should leave you with something that looks about like that. Okay, and it does sit just a little bit high. You'll see there's kind of a beveled edge. Yeah, there you go. You can kind of see it that way. That's fine. And that sits, I'll set the camera up in a second when I put the other seal on so you can see how that actually sits. So now I'm going to put in my other seal. And my other seal, just going to take a little bit of grease, so you can see here. And I'm going to add some grease to this. I got my grease gun sitting to the side. I'm going to add a little bit of grease to it. And that sits there. Now this seal, that's the inside, and this is the outside. I don't know if you can see. So this is cupped basically like that. That's the inside, and the flat side is the outside. Try and get this started. Just rotate it around. And toss in there. Okay. And just do it right down to the edge there. All right. Now, I'm going to kind of reposition the cameras and everything, get things cleaned up, and then we'll put this back on. We do actually have to put the disc brake on before we stick this on, so we'll kind of work through those things before we get too much further. Alright, so the next thing that we got to do is we got to tighten up our bracket here. No reason why we couldn't do it before, but I just wanted to get hand tight and then do a couple other things. So I'm just taking my Allen wrench here. Just going to turn this down. Now the next thing that you got to do is you got to put your disc brake onto your hub, and there's actually it matters the direction that you do it. in the sense that you have these cross flow holes. So you could have it this way, which means that these would be pointed, rotating that way with the wheel, but I wanted to match the other side, and so I have it going, I believe, this way. And then we're going to put these, I'll have to tilt the camera down so you can see. Okay, like that. Double check, yeah, I think that looks good. So then I'm going to take 2 more nuts and lock washers, or 3 more bolts, I'm sorry, not nuts. And I have a little piece of plastic underneath. That just helps to keep the aluminum from getting scratched up. It is pretty soft when it comes to marring and scratching. So, all right, so the next thing that I want to do is I need to add some grease into my seal, and this is just to keep these seals lubricated over time. So I'm going to go ahead and get my grease gun here, and I'm just going to add a little dab here. At this point, we should be pretty good to go ahead and stick our hub on, and at least an initial fitment, and kind of see everything feels nice and good. Give it a little tappy tap tap. Looks good.
Okay folks, to keep this video short, I ended it here. I didn't do an outro on the video clip because I just continued on. In next week's video, we're going to put on the wheel studs, which is something I didn't do in this clip, and we're going to put this all together along with our calipers that we're going to install. So hope you guys enjoyed the video clip, and we'll see you guys in the next one.